Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. I am your hostess, Chrisnatha. Always excited to be back with another video. So welcome, everyone. If it's your first time, don't be scared. Don't be shy. Go ahead and say hello. Go ahead and say hello down in the chat, in the comments. If you are coming back, welcome back. If you are watching on Facebook, make sure to like and comment and share this with your network, right? And also, if you are watching from YouTube world, be sure to subscribe, comment, share, and like as well. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we are back with another video. And as you have seen from the title, today we're going to be talking about asking for what you want. Asking for what you want. This is so awesome. I love this topic because I was actually reading this Forbes article by a contributor named Dr. Margie Worrell. And she wrote an article called 7 Keys to Asking for What You Really Want So You Get It. And it really struck a chord with me. I absolutely loved it. And I wanted to talk about that article, talk about the contents of that article with you. And so I want to also encourage you to ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. So many times in life, we could feel as though we deserve certain things, we are entitled, or we should have certain things, that other people should see that for us, right? But it's important that we are asking for what we want, right? Sometimes I've heard people say that more than the answers that you get in life, it's equally, if not more important, the questions that we ask, right? Asking the right questions, but also just asking for what you want, right? For instance, if you want a promotion, you may want to have that conversation. You're asking for a raise, or you want a raise, ask for that, right? Because, you got to go ahead and back it up. You have your performance reviews, right, that say how amazing you are and how much of an asset you are to the organization. And so that is reason to back up your asking for a raise. Okay, so it's time that we start asking for what we want. No more settling, no more just accepting what comes. But the question is, do I want this? And so I want you to begin doing this exercise with everything, right? I'm going out for this new job. I'm going out for this new position. There's this new person who wants to be a part of my life. Is this what I want? Do I want this? Ask yourself this question. You'd be surprised the amount of things that we welcome into our life, into our world, into our space, into our atmosphere, our time, our environment, and we don't want it, right? So ask for what you want, but you also don't have to wait for permission for everything either, okay? So let's talk about it. So number one is, don't assume others are mind readers. Don't assume that others are mind readers. And what does that mean? That means that you cannot expect other people to read your mind. I absolutely agree with this. So complaining about your problems does not solve them. Whining about unmet needs won't fulfill them. So whether you want your colleague to communicate with you more often about a project, or put your forward for a more senior role, put your foot forward, right? It's crucial to be assertive in conveying what you want. You have to be assertive. You have to be clear. For some of us who are shy by nature, right, we have to break out of that, right? I definitely used to be a people pleaser and extremely shy, still a little bit of shy, but not that much anymore. But you have to ask for what you want. So we often assume our spouses, our bosses, our work colleagues, and even our good friends can read our minds. The truth is they can't. And when they don't act the way we want them to act, we wind up hurt, upset, disappointed, right? So for any relationship to thrive, it's important for you to communicate what you need, right? So take responsibility for clearly communicating your needs. Number two is, be bold in what you ask for. Don't dilute what you're asking for. Don't try to water it down. The reality is, you will rarely, if ever, be given more than what you have the courage to ask for. If you know you want, I don't know, a 20% increase, let's just say, right? But you're only asking for 10, more than likely you're going to get the 10, right? So be clear. Don't water it down. Be honest. If you want more communication in your friendship, ask your friend for that very thing. Don't try to beat around the bush so it can sound pretty, right? But just be honest. Be bold and say, this is what I need. This is what I need from you. I need more communication. I need more reciprocity. I need this from you. And be clear and honest, not in an entitled way, not in an aggressive way, but in a way that conveys that you know your worth and you want the very thing that you are indeed asking for. Number 3, be specific about what you want and when you want it. Be specific. I have a question for you. Do you know what you want? You know, you'd be surprised about how many people really don't know what they want, right? And so I want to ask you this question. Do you know what you want? And if you know what you want, be specific about it. And if you're not sure, find out before you start asking, right? Be specific about what you want and when you want it. In the workspace, the biggest reason for unmet expectations is a lack of understanding of exactly what was expected. So asking someone to do something soon can be interpreted in all sorts of ways. This is important. For a request to hold any water, it needs to specify not just what you'd like, but also the time frame in which you want it. That is both a clear and an ambiguous what and when. For example, could you please get the monthly sales report to me by 2 p.m. Friday? It's unreasonable to expect to get what you want if people aren't clear about what that is. Sometimes someone may ask for what they want, but there's an urgency, but that person doesn't state the urgency of it, right? So for instance, hey, can you get this done for me? Okay. Do you need this done now? Do you need this done by tomorrow, right? So we need to make sure that we are being specific about what we want and when we want it. If there's like a time frame here, it needs to be communicated. So as you can see, communication plays a big role, effective communication, that is. Number 4 is be clear about what you won't tolerate. Be clear about what's a non-negotiable for you. It's a rule of life that you get what you tolerate. It's true. People will do what you let them do, right? We know this to be true. So making requests will go a long way to eliminating the tolerations in your life. Whether it's asking a team member to show up on time or asking your colleague to stop making sexist jokes. Every day, through what you say and do, you teach others how to treat you. If you allow others to take you for granted, to overstep your personal boundaries, or to be outright disrespectful, you are complicit in it. You are complicit. So if something is not sitting right with you, if something is making you uncomfortable, if something is not something you welcome into your world, your space, right? You need to be clear about that. Set those clear boundaries so it does not happen again. Do not tolerate things that you just don't want to tolerate. You don't have to. You have the right to make a boundary. So set those boundaries and make it clear. Number 5, forget hints and be direct. Be direct. Don't beat around the bush. Don't talk in circles, right? How many of you know someone that talks in circles? I do, right? You don't have to be disrespectful or mean to be clear. Some people are extremely, extremely rigid in the way they speak and they say they're keeping it real. You can keep it real and still be respectful. So be direct, but still be respectful. So if you like to take the less confrontational and often more cowardly route, sorry, but not sorry, of dropping hints to get others to behave differently, this is it. Hints don't cut it. You have to be clear. Sometimes you want to imply what you'd want someone to do for you. You want, but you have to be clear. Everyone's not just going to read between the lines, hear what you're not saying, right? So it's important that you are clear. If you don't want to be ignored, you have to be direct and explicit, clear. Making a general comment to a group of people doesn't really work. It's pretty passive, actually. And so you want to make sure that you are bold and be direct about what you need. Okay. You do not have to be a martyr. So I hope I set some people free today. You do not have to be a martyr. Okay, ask for what you want. Many times as women, we can really put ourselves out there. We feel like we have to sacrifice everything, right? Give all that we've got. When we don't, you can simply say, I'd love to, but I can't. Or you can just say no. And that's a full sentence, right? You just can say no. Don't always have to say yes to something. Is it selfish? It can be. Is that okay? Sure. You can't always say yes to everything. So don't self-sacrifice, right? So that's really important that you don't feel like you have to self-sacrifice, because you don't. It's definitely not necessary. So it's definitely not necessary. So you don't have to self-sacrifice. Okay. So I don't want anyone to feel like you have to do that to get your point across, because you don't. All right. And number 7, finally, don't make no mean more than it does. Don't make no mean more than it does. You won't always get what you ask for. So let's make that clear. Ask for what you want, right? That's important. So I want to empower you today, but you won't always get what you ask for. Your boss won't always give you the promotion you'd like, right, to have. Your parents may not agree to take care of your kids for the weekend, right? This happens, it's life. However, when people say no, don't treat it as a personal rejection. I want you guys to get in the habit of not taking things personally. It's not a personal attack or rejection against you as a person. Same way you have the right to ask for what you want, people have the right to say no, right? So it's not a personal attack, a personal rejection against you. Okay, accept it graciously and move on. But at least now you know where things stand and you can plan accordingly. But if you don't ask, you'll never know, right? So just ask. Some of us don't ask because we don't want to hear no. You just might hear yes, right? So just be bold and ask. Asking for less than you really want from yourself, from others, and from life doesn't serve anyone. So I dare you, try asking for what you really want. Who knows, you just might get it. You just might get it. So guys, thank you for hanging out with me today on another segment of the Masterpiece Lounge. I hope that this video was extremely helpful and insightful and empowered you to really put yourself out there and ask for what you really want. You just might get it. All right, guys. So I am Chrisnatha DeRozier, certified life coach, author, and speaker, signing off until next time. And until then, be well. Take care, everyone.